Hi all, so in this example today we're going to be looking at how to solve some probability questions and specifically with a Karnaugh map, okay? And these are very important for probability questions and they are very helpful to solve different problems that you might have. So in this question here we've got a recent survey of senior citizens is found that 85% favoured giving great powers to arrest police, so this is important information. So favoured the greater powers of arrest, and 60% favoured longer sentences for convicted persons, and 50% favoured both propositions. Okay, so with this we need to actually break down the information that's given to us. So you can write this up as either a Karnaugh map straight away or just break down your information first. So first I'm just going to break down the information. So 85% favoured giving greater powers to arrest police. So 85%, I would say they favour giving greater powers of arrest to police, so we'll call this A. A is equal to 85%. Alright, so that means that 15% didn't agree to this. Okay. Next, we have 60% favoured longer sentences. So, longer sentences, 60% did. That means that 40% didn't. Okay? Just remember that little apostrophe means not. Okay? And then 50% favoured both. Okay? So we have 50% favoured A and L. Okay? So 50% favoured both of these propositions. So to answer these questions, what percentage favoured at least one of the two propositions, and what percentage favoured neither proposition? I think the easiest way to do this is doing the Karnaugh map. So we'll start off, and you start off just by setting up your letters on the side. So we'll do our arrests on the side and not arrests, or supporting this. And then we'll have our longer sentences on the top. Okay, so just draw this up. So we've got some totals that we can put in here. And remember, you do your totals at the end of the column. So with this one, 85% favoured arrests. So arrests over here is 85%. Okay. 60% they favoured longer sentences. So 60% goes down here. Okay. Just remember, it has to equal 100% at the end, and that's how we worked out what these other values are. Okay, so this, not arrest, this has got to equal 15%. Okay, and this here has got to equal 40. Okay, so with these, just remember that all the values across in our top row here, they'll need to equal 85%. Okay, while all our values in the second row here, they'll need to equal 15. All the values down here will need to equal 40. And all the values here need to equal 60. Okay, so you might get given different bits of information. So the key bit of information to filling this out is this here. Okay, the 50% favoured both propositions. So this here, we can fill this in as this top corner here, 50%. Okay? And now that we've got that value, we can start filling in our Karnaugh map. Okay? So Firstly, we can look at the people that wanted longer sentencing but didn't want giving greater powers of arrest. Just trying to remember what all these are. So with this here is just our total, or 60% down the bottom here, as you can see. Okay, and then we just minus 10. Okay, I mean minus 50. I just said the answer there. That was silly. Minus 50 of our value there, because those columns need to add up to the same value. So that there is 10%. Okay. So just remember, this is how you break it down. So then we can start filling these in. This here is 5%, and this up the top is 35. So just double check up, down, and across if everything still adds up. So going down L, 50 plus 10 is 60, that's good. Going down not L is 35 and 5, which adds to 40, which is good. Alright, so now we'll go across the A for longer arrests. 50 plus 35 is 85, so that's still good. And not A, 10 and 5, that equals 15. So this all checks out, okay? We've all filled it in properly here. So, what we need to do now is just answer our questions. So, question A is, what percentage favoured at least one of the two propositions? So this here, I'll do this in yellow on our Karnaugh map. So one of the two propositions, this first one, they favoured both, so that's at least one of the two. This one here, where they favoured more arresting powers, but not as long sentences, or the sentences not as long, that's one of the propositions favoured, so that counts as well. And this one down here. So mathematically speaking, you're actually adding all of these values, A and L, plus not A and L, plus A and not L. Okay? So that here, this actually equals to, if you really wanted to break it down, this is the A and it's the union of L. Okay? So these two values here. So if you're drawing this up in a Venn diagram that like some people like to do, you have your A here, your L here. Okay? And this is all of it that's inside our Venn diagram. Okay? So that there is all of that value there. So here, this one will equal to 95% once we add them all up. Okay, so 50 plus 35 plus 10 is 95%. So just remember some of those relationships there between that, especially your intersections and your different values of the unions, or your unions and the intersections. So we'll go and have a look at B. Okay, so with B, I'll just do this here. What percentage favoured neither proposition? This is not A and not L. Okay, we can see from this that this is equal to 5%. Okay, which is just this value here. So you just need to remember that. But just remember, this also can be worked out if you do 1 minus A in our last value, or L. Okay, that's another way that you could work it out. So just make sure you are aware of those relationships that are present within it. So especially this one here, okay, and how all of these added up is equal to that. So these relationships here. So just make sure you are aware of them and feel confident with rearranging and making these Karnaugh maps. Alright?